And Zimbabwe's new Prime Minister, Morgan Tsvangirai, says a unity government with President Robert Mugabe heralds a new chapter for his country. After his swearing in, Tsvangirai addressed a crowd of thousands in Harare to outline his priorities. Well, joining me now is Lance Guma, a Zimbabwean and presenter on SW Radio Africa, and that's an independent Zimbabwe radio station broadcasting from London. Lance Guma, the Zimbabwean economy is bankrupt. There's a worrying cholera outbreak that's killed thousands. There's 90% unemployment. I mean, how difficult is the road ahead for this fledgling unity government?
Well, the road ahead is very difficult, and it's interesting that Morgan Tsvangirai in his inauguration speech actually used the word transitional government, and I think that's an advanced disclaimer should things not work out, because the challenges are immense. And I heard he promised that civil servants will be paid in foreign currency by the end of February, and that's quite a promise to make. Nobody knows where this foreign currency is going to be coming from. But indeed, a lack of sincerity on Mugabe's part, I think, is going to be the biggest impediment towards getting this government to work. If there's sincerity from Mugabe, then I think they can make progress.
How much real power will Morgan Tsvangirai have there? I mean, you know, the MDC has been given the finance, health and education portfolios. But as you say, I mean, these ministries are bankrupt. So where are they going to get the money from?
Yeah, not only bankrupt, I think the point is the MDC did not get what many considered the key ministries in terms of defense, national security, or complete control of home affairs, local government, foreign affairs, and ministries like that. The ministries they got, which are only significant, maybe is co-sharing home affairs and the finance ministry. But everything else, Mugabe still retains control. And I think the West and those with the financial muscle to bail Zimbabwe out are very skeptical about this arrangement. And I think the US government and the British have clearly said they want to see evidence of genuine power sharing before they commit any resources to this particular process. And you need to remember there's a big worry that Mugabe only plans to use the MDC as window dressing to earn himself international legitimacy and acceptance, and thereby relieve pressure on his own regime. So there are a lot of boxes to tick and things to get out of the way.
It's an interesting point you make about Robert Mugabe. I mean, he remains a very shrewd politician. I mean, what's in this deal for him? Is he ensuring his own political survival?
Well, there was talk initially about a soft landing for Mugabe, giving him a dignified exit. I don't know whether African leaders in coming up with this particular settlement are trying to give Mugabe a dignified exit. But certainly, you know, in terms of if this is the best that Africa can do in terms of African solutions to African problems, then it's a bit disappointing that the person who lost elections is still firmly in power, and a lot of people are bitter about this. You need to remember, even Amnesty International documented the murder of at least 180 opposition activists last year. What about their families? Where is their justice going to come from? So there are a lot of questions that need to be answered, and it's a difficult road ahead. Let
me just ask you a final question before you go. I mean, how are ordinary Zimbabweans feeling about today's events? Do they think there's real hope for the future?
Well, you know, we run a callback program on our radio station, and Zimbabweans are very divided, and this is the point I must make. There are a lot of people who feel that this is the beginning of something new, and that although it's not a perfect arrangement, it gives Zimbabweans a platform for a new beginning. But there are those who just do not trust Mugabe, and there is precedent to this. Mugabe, in previous arrangements with PF ZAPU, which never lasted 2 years, fired the PF ZAPU leader Joshua Nkomo after 2 years of a government of national unity. So the history is littered with examples that show that Mugabe really never keeps any of his promises. So people are very, very, very divided.
Lance Guma there in London, thank you very much indeed for sharing your thoughts with us.